Hey Deku fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
So we're going to start a new series today. So excited about this one. Thank you so much for all your comments. Like, damn.
Yeah, we had so many. Now I guess we have to stay on YouTube and actually just kind of take it through.
Yeah, so many suggestions, even from like, oh, add a backdrop, do some stuff. We're like, yes, we will one day.
Maybe next year. Yeah.
Maybe next year. Until then, you're gonna have to deal with the white background and us just sitting on the sofa. But yeah, thank you so much. We've got like great ideas coming for you guys. But before we get into this new series, we've got some updates that we want to share with you. So if you don't want to see those updates and you want to get straight into the video, you need to forward it to
this minute in the video.
Yes. For those of you who do want to hear, we've got 3 updates. 1, we have a Facebook page at last. Woo!
Yeah. And a Facebook page will be able to have a more of a real-time up to date on what we're actually doing.
Yeah.
So when we go to different events, different weddings, we'll be posting like albums. And the page is called Gabes and Anna.
Yeah, so search for that on Facebook, like it, follow it. And we recently just shared like some wedding pictures that we haven't shared with anyone yet. Yeah. So yeah, take a look at that. So, but then within that Facebook page, update number 2 is that we've got a Deku fan group. Yes! It's private, so you have to request access to the group because we want it to be like, we don't want people who are just observing, you know what I mean? They're people who are just there silent. We want people to be active. We want it to be a forum where we're gonna do polls asking you which series should come up next, so you guys can comment on that. And then we're just sharing, I don't know, if someone has an idea or a prayer request or whatever, then we can all be praying with each other. We can share links
we can just basically support each other along the journey, because marriage is not easy, relationships are not easy, but let's just position ourselves so that we can encourage each other along the journey.
It's not every day just us share a video and that's it. Like, let it be a fluid conversation. So if someone has an answer to someone's question and we haven't put a video on it, share that. So yeah, join the Deku fam group, guys. Let's do this. So that's update number 2. Number 3 is actually, someone confirmed this for us by putting this as a suggestion. They said, can you please do like, what is it?
Where people send questions to you and we answer it. So what we've decided to do is ask the Dekus. Ask the Deku, where you can send your scenario, you can send your questions, and we will do one video on your scenario.
So it'll be a video that won't be part of the Monday series, but it'll be a midweek video where we'll literally answer someone's situation and say what we do in that situation.
But all that we ask is that you send your request via Facebook. So Facebook, that's a messaging platform. If you send your message across on Facebook, we'll be able to answer it. And we promise we'll keep you anonymous.
It will not be public. You send it by an inbox to our Facebook group, and then we'll
try and answer it.
The series that we're focusing on over the next few weeks is called
Cultural
Competence. What is cultural competence? Cultural competence is basically how you work with, live with, do life with people that are different to yourself.
And it's especially important when you're in a relationship, when you're doing life with a person day in, day out. Our default position when we meet with people is actually to view them through our cultural lens. So we expect them to act the way we act, we expect them to speak the way that we do. And when they don't, there's a bit of friction and there's a bit of misunderstanding. So it's important, especially when you're in a marriage, to actually appreciate each other's differences so that you can move forward in your relationship.
Because if you think about life as people, we're attracted to sameness, people who are the same as us, because we're like animals and you get a bit defensive if someone's different to you. But in life, every single person is actually different to you. If you think about when you go to work, you spend time with people who are different to you. In your marriage, it's at first, it's so cute, like, oh, Gabes is so, quiet, I love it. No, after a while, it's got really annoying. Like, that is life. And I think the reason why there's so much division is because people can't cope with the fact that people are different to them. And we think that if you learn to accept and embrace cultural difference, our relationships with people will just flourish. So we want to take you through a journey of how we've come to love.
Kind of. But we're not even love. Okay, we just think that it's very important to acknowledge your differences. Okay?
So in this series, we're really going to focus on the differences that we have to overcome, how we've overcome them, our gender differences, gender roles, how we've defined that within our marriage, submission, leadership, all of that stuff is going to come through this series. But in this particular video, what are we doing, babe?
We are talking about our differences. Okay, because it's important to have an awareness of yourself and how you differ from your partner. So
yeah, the first step in the journey is acknowledgement. Who am I? Who is the other person? And how are we different? Because until you know how different you are, you can't actually learn to overcome those differences or accept those differences or whatever. So we'll talk to you about how so different we are. Yeah, we're both Christians. Yeah, you know, all that nice stuff. But bruh,
guys,
we couldn't be more different, I'm telling you.
She talks a lot in it.
He doesn't talk at all, does he?
No,
and then he'll complain afterwards.
I'm just watching, like, I'm watching you on the camera, I'm like, right, you guys actually sit down and watch this one talk. Can we get in the video, please?
This is how different we are.
Let's go. No, you're talking too much.
Oh, I did. So, with our cultural differences, we actually blame our family.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
for real. Because if you think about it, like, your culture is defined by what happens in your household, the way your mom acts, the way your dad acts, and you learn from these characteristics, and that becomes who you are. That develops on who you become as an adult. So there are things that our parents did that we are now doing, and that is what's led to the friction. So, mom, dad, I blame you.
So we're gonna go through different areas and just set the scene for like how different we are. We have different ways that we like to receive love.
And it's actually sometimes feel like we're generally speaking different languages. Because we tend to give love in the way that we want to receive love. For those of you who don't know, there are 5 love languages. You have acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, and receiving of gifts. And these are ways that people express love and want to receive love. Ours, like we said, are completely different. I am an acts of service. I am the oldest in my household. There's very few men in our household as well, in terms of our whole family setup. So men are kind of, you know, appreciate a bit more. So I came from the
appreciate is an understatement. I feel like you're kings.
Appreciate it. So I grew up in a household where my mom actually, you know, so it's a big deal. Like, she actually serves me my dinner. Like, why do I feel shy saying this?
So you should.
I don't always make me feel bad about it. But my mom used to bring me my food. My sister used to bring me my food. I didn't see anything wrong with that. And then I came into my household and I'm like,
what household? This one?
This one. Anna? Where's my food?
Anyway.
She asked me if my legs were broken. But yeah,
my love language is words of affirmation. Like, you know, talk to me, tell me those sweet nothings. Like, I will love it. Because in my household, I don't know, quality time and all those other love languages weren't really there because we were all just busy, all doing our own thing. But one thing we used to do was talk a lot, and we used to affirm each other a lot and encourage each other a lot. So I think that's where mine comes from within my family. So Mr. over here, I feel like,
look, at the end of the day, we got married. I stood at the altar before man and God and declared it before everybody.
I need it every day.
Must I repeat myself? Am I a parrot?
He literally thinks things all the time, but he just never says it, and that was a miscommunication because I didn't know how he felt about me properly, because he'd be like, I'm showing you that I care, you know, I'm serving you, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was like, yeah, but you're not saying it. And for him, he was like, but...
What are you doing?
I'll tell him all the time, like, I love you, baby, I love you.
Love, these words, I just... They're meaningless. They don't follow actions. Where's my service? I'm an introvert.
Yeah, and I'm an extrovert, in case you guys didn't know. And at the beginning, it was I was the biggest extrovert and he was the biggest introvert. Like, we've come so far now, you see Gabes chatting, but mate, at the beginning, I'd be like, oh, how are you? I'm okay. How's your day? It was okay.
And I'll ask Anna how she's doing, and she'll write a report and just spit it out. It was just, my ears will be hurting after a while because she spoke so much. She's just kind of out there. And also, if we go to different settings, I like to just be low key. I like to just go in and go out, just say hi to the people I need to say. Anna walks through the door and is like,
no,
I'm
you're
here.
such an exaggerator.
I am
just because you're an introvert, you just exaggerate everything.
But that's what it feels like.
Anyways, but basically our families is the reason why we have these personalities.
Yeah.
My house was a party every day. I'd walk home from school, like, and then people at my house all the time. Like, there was food. It was just such a blast. Like, we had an open door policy. Family came from Tanzania. They'd always live with us while they're studying. Like, it was real.
No, my household was not like that. There was myself, my dad, my mom, my sister. And that was it. No one came over. We didn't go to no sleepovers. We enjoyed each other's company, and we kept it like that. There was no random visits. You call us months in advance so we can plan for your arrival. Don't just turn up at our house. My mom will close the door. It was like, literally. So we just, you know.
It's actually very funny now, but we have serious challenges with these characteristics that
because
we have. These cultural differences.
The thing is, I feel charged up when I've sat by myself and, you know, I've had time to reflect and think about life. Yeah. But Anna gets fueled up by just being around people. And I just don't get it.
So imagine trying to navigate that, like in marriage. It was real, you know, it was real. We can laugh now, but boy, there have been tears.
It was painful.
I am very intuitive in the way that I think.
Is it intuitive or emotional? I just need to confirm.
Wow.
Is it intuitive?
Intuitive.
Or is it emotional?
It's intuition.
Intuition was...
It's intuition. It's the Holy Spirit.
Yes. Are you in tune with him? Are you in tune?
And Gabes is Mr. Logic. Logic. I feel like you don't even leave room for anything else. It just has to be logical. It has to make sense. But does God make sense all the time?
Whatever. But yeah, I think like with my family, they always used to ask me, what do you think? It wasn't really about my emotions. Like it was like, suck it up, keep going. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? But I think if I watch Annabella's families, they all get together like little girls and they're always like, how do you feel? I'm like, rah, like you spend so much time studying how you're feeling on the inside. Yeah. So Annabella, like, this is actually true, okay? This is actually true. Annabella, if she's even going to eat, she's not like me. I'm like, okay, I like rice, stew, and chicken. Like, it's a fact. I like this. So I want to eat it. Okay. Hers is more like, how do I feel? Is it spaghetti today, or am I feeling like a pounded yam? Like, what am I going to eat? And it's very much, I don't know where it comes from, but me, I find it very confusing. So I can never actually go to a shop and pick Annabella, you know, cheese and onion crisp, because Monday she might like cheese and onion, Tuesday she might want ready salted. So I always lose. So it's very confusing.
We'll just leave that one there.
Yeah.
That's a major difference in our relationship. Even when we're like arguing, it's serious because he's like, yeah, but this is what happened, do. But I was like, yeah, but I feel like this. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but I feel like this. And you can't disrespect it just because it's not logical.
But sometimes just the way you feel, it's not the way of reality, is it? Like
it's my reality.
Yeah, but you can lie to yourself. But sometimes we have to step back out of ourselves and look at what's in front of us.
No, but
because you can't always trust your feelings.
You love me because I'm emotional. Yeah, you do. That's what you attract to the most. Anyways, I am very, very slim, and Gabes is very, very, very big.
Your life. But yeah. I'm slightly bigger than Annabella, just slightly. Yeah, so I'm West African, Annabella is East African. Yeah. West African are known for being bigger, stronger, faster. East African...
No, we're faster long distance though.
That's not fast, that's endurance.
Okay, fine.
Where this has been a struggle for us in our relationship, Annabella always says that I'm aggressive. And she always challenges me for the way I speak. But I am not speaking in any kind of aggressive tone. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just bigger. Yeah. So sometimes there's a presence about me that sometimes scares her. Look at how small she is, like a child.
Yeah, because when we're in heated debates and stuff like that, if I'm shouting, it's still high pitched, and this might be a gender thing as opposed to a size thing, but size plays a factor. Like, my voice is high pitched. I'm here with my slim self, like, but then him, like, if he's like. It's just big, and it can be very, very intimidating for someone that's smaller. So like it challenges the way that we argue. We could both be saying the same point, but because he's bigger, because his voice is deeper and all that stuff, it really can be intimidating, and then I maybe shy away.
So in our she said arguments, but our discussion, I whisper. I'm like, you're an idiot.
You're a wise man, bro. Yeah, sometimes when it gets loud, I'm like, tone it down, you know you're bigger. And it's sometimes important for guys to realize that, because in his mind, he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just being me, this is how I am. But you need to realize who you're talking to. You're not talking to another guy, because when guys come together, it's like they're having full-on arguments, but they're not, because they're all big and whatever. But when you're talking to me, You need to tone it down. You watched our money video, you know that Gabes is Mr.
I'm not
Even
Mr.
if he doesn't even have it, I'm just like, why are you buying a car? Why are you doing all this stuff?
And Anna is a penny pincher. A penny pincher.
No, I'm just, you know, aware of money and I know how to use money.
She's a penny pincher.
Organizational skills, like, completely different. Like, I would say I'm quite disorganized or last minute. What's the word? I can be organized.
Just a mess.
It has its benefits though, but I was with my sister yesterday and we were at a baby shower, our cousin's baby shower, and my sister was like, last minute, she's planning all the games, doing everything, and I was like, wow, we're actually the same. We do things so last minute. Like, if we have tight deadlines, we will make it, but it'll be last minute, but it will look so good because we know how to work with like short time to do things. That's something that we can do, but you see Gabes and you give him like something to do under a strict time constraint and he can't cope. I
can't cope. See, but the thing is, I know when I'm about to do something and I think about it in advance and I put a plan in place. I think, okay, so if I was to look at my family setup in the way that my mom was to approach things, there's always order. Like, in our household, there is order. The remote is in a certain place, you put your cup on a coaster. I don't know. My mom was just extra OCD when it came to cleaning and OCD about order. And yeah, I'm just someone who's got a bit of structure in my life. So things are in order. If I have an event, I plan for the event. Way in advance. I have strategic plans on how I'm going to execute it.
Yeah, Mr. Strategy.
Rather than just turning up and just hoping that everything goes. No, I will organize, rehearse, and then go. I don't just turn up on the day. I'm ready. If I say I'm going to be there, I am ready and I am prepared.
So bringing that into our relationship, like, coming from different ends of the spectrum, Gabes gets so frustrated with me about being last minute. He gets so frustrated when I haven't given him enough notice about something that's happening or something that we're going to, and it caused so much conflict, like, in our relationship. Yeah. He'd say, oh, okay, you know, what's the plan for next week? And I don't know yet. Or even with our videos, he'll be like, oh, I planned it, I've given you time, and it's like 5 minutes before we start the video that you want to tell me, oh, we need to change this, we need to change that. No, you need to give me more. Oh man, we have so much conflict because of that. Yeah. But yeah. That's another difference.
We're getting through though, guys.
Yeah, we're getting through. We're still here, you know? I am an enthusiast and Gabes is a skeptic. He's actually a pessimist, I'd say.
Well.
Even the way that we look at situations. For example, I work in sales and, you know, I don't know if the deal's going to close, but I'm like, yeah, I'm optimistic that it's going to close. I feel like, yeah, I look at the positives in the situation.
But if it's not in, it's not in. And
imagine that
could go wrong.
And when we first got together, I was like, you're just like a dark cloud in my life. Like, do you know what I mean? Where I am, I'm just always positive, there's joy. But with him, he's just like, so I'll tell him something, oh my gosh, guess what happened at work? And he'll be like, yeah, but. And then the cloud just covers over you. Like, that's what it feels like. Darkness. Darkness when Gabes is like giving you analysis of the situation. I had to teach him to be like, okay, can you sandwich it? Can you sandwich your critique? Say something positive, be like, oh yeah, babe, that's amazing. And then give the negative and then end on a positive. Because sometimes it can be a lot to handle being with a skeptic. Because you sometimes think like, are you depressed or are you okay? But no, it's just his way of thinking is completely different to mine.
Yeah, and I guess in our family, there were just a lot of things that were going on. And I've learned not to get too excited and then be, you know, let down. So I am critical at the beginning and I will just process everything rather than getting too excited and then, you know, drop it down.
And it all does come down to like the way that we were raised. You know, what kind of environment did you have at home? For us, maybe me and my sister were quite sheltered from the struggles and the family divisions and stuff that went on. For some reason, because every time we were around, like, there was so much fun. But Gabes was matured from a very young age because he was very included in the stuff that the family went through. So that made him a lot more skeptical, and I was maybe a bit more optimistic.
So even the way we approach people. So Annabella's more of a
trust.
She trusts very quickly and allows herself to get hurt.
Yeah.
For me, no, that won't happen. I assess you for about a year. And then I will say hello. and then I'll see how you react to the hello, and then I'll go back in, and then I'll go back out, and I'm just, I'm just a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So,
and at first it was very frustrating having the other. He'll be like, oh, you know, why are you so positive? Like, that's not reality.
Trying to suss her out.
Yeah, he was trying to work me out for a good, actually. Trying to work me out. He always thought, you know, I was a fake or whatever. But then he realised this is who I am. And with him, I just like, why are you just so negative? I didn't like it. But now I appreciate it. Because when I fall down, when someone's let me down, he'll be like, I know, you've just been too da-da-da-da. So we balance each other out. But at first, and even still sometimes now, we're just like, you know, why can't you be more like me? So guys, in this video, we thought it was very important to talk about our cultural differences, because you can't have cultural competence, you can't know how to liaise with people that are different to yourself if you don't understand how you're different to them. And that's something that we've studied from the beginning of our relationship. People ask us like, why is your relationship so fruitful? Why are things going so well? I think it's because
we have our eyes open, and we know the differences.
We know them.
And even when I go to Annabella's house, I always say, I get to understand you a lot more because I spend time with your mum.
Yeah.
Through understanding our cultural background and the way our households are, it's allowed us to appreciate our relationship a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just understand the differences and just kind of not see past it, but we're gonna touch on this in a lot more detail in the next video as to really how we overcame this.
Yeah. So like for you guys who are in relationships, or even if you're single, like learn to understand yourself. What makes you the way that you are? Why are you an introvert? Why are you an extrovert? Why do you think logically? Why are you an enthusiast? You know, all these things. It's really important to understand yourself, and then when you get into a relationship, you can really understand your partner and not look at things so negatively, like, oh, it's annoying that you think like this, or you know, it's not right that you think like this. None of them are right or wrong. It's not right that I'm an extrovert and he's an introvert. We both have our strengths, we both have our weaknesses, but how are we going to overcome that so we can have a fruitful relationship?
Yeah.
So our next video will be about how we actually overcame these differences, and we hope you enjoy this series.
Yeah. Peace.
Bye guys. Bye.
Don't forget to follow our Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Don't follow mine. I don't post anything. Follow Anna's. Twitter. We're yet to talk on Twitter. You know, everybody just says follow. So we say follow.
Deku fan group. Find it within our page.
Yeah.
All that jazz. And yeah, we'll see you at our next video.
Peace.